Good morning. Will you please uncover and bow your heads with me as we pray? Our God and Father, your word tells us that greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for one's friends. We are thankful that we can freely assemble on this Memorial Day weekend to remember and honor the sacrifice of those who have laid down their lives for us in service of our country. Our hearts are heavy as we consider the many men and women from every race, color, and creed that served, fought, and died in the wars of the past and present. Lord, please give peace and strength to those families and friends who have lost loved ones. Lift the hearts of those for whom this weekend is not a time of celebration. And we commend to your gracious care in keeping all the men and women who currently serve in our armed forces in domestic and foreign fields. Grant to them a sense of your abiding presence wherever they may be. Bring them home safely and soon. This morning, Lord, we also celebrate those veterans who live among us. They have served a duty the precious few are willing to undertake. It is because of their courage and sacrifice that we live in a country that is second to none. So, Lord, as we remember and honor all those who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country, we ask your blessing on this ceremony this morning. We thank you and pray in your holy name. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Rosemary. National Anthem. Thank you, Pastor Tim. At this time, the Hillsborough High School Chorale will be performing the Armed Forces Hymn, led by Miss Ashley Foster.
Those who fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army is rolling along. And the army is rolling along. High, high, hey, the army's on its way. Now show us the clear fighting strong. Oh, you will always know that the army is rolling along.
Thank you, Ashley, and to all the students for a wonderful performance for this event. And it's one of my favorite parts. It really is. At this time, I'd like to recognize some of my colleagues here, to respect you. Quite honestly, you're why we're here. We have Committeeman Doug Thompson, Committeewoman Janine Erickson, Committeeman Jeffrey Wright. I'd also like to acknowledge Congressman Malinowski, Senator Kip Bateman, Assemblyman Roy Fryman, and Deputy Director Sarah Suey. Thank you for being here with us this morning and honoring our veterans. I would also like to take a moment to acknowledge some very special cards placed on the center of your tables. These cards were provided by the Girl Scout Service Unit number 72. Please read and enjoy them while eating your breakfast. You're invited to take one or two home with you as a thank you for all you've done for our country. A special thank you to all the Scouts who participated and provided those thoughtful sentiments, and some of who are here today volunteering with the breakfast in the back. So a round of applause for them. There is a saying, good things come to those who wait. Here's a fun example of a good thing. The NESHANIC Garden Club first approached the Township about a Blue Star Memorial in 2017. Through the planning process, the memorial was installed last year. We were fortunate today to be here to officially dedicate it and formally thank the NESHANIC Garden Club for their initiative to have this in Hillsborough. The Blue Star Memorial is located behind me on Beekman Lane near the Garden of Honor. The Blue Star program honors all men and women that serve in the United States Armed Forces. Originating in 1944 with the planting of 8,000 dogwood trees by the New Jersey Council of Garden Clubs as a living memorial to veterans of World War II. Here in Hillsborough, we are honored to have this memorial dedicated to all our service personnel, and at this location, along our parade route, is very fitting. Thank you, NESHANIC Garden Club. It is my pleasure to introduce Co-Blue Star Memorial Chair Barbara Zeildorf, who will share a few thoughts.
First, I'd like to give you a certificate.
Oh, thank you.
It's just a certificate that comes from the General Federation of Women's Clubs. That's another hat I have. Garden Clubs. You can tell I'm a little nervous. And the mayor here really said most of what I was already going to say.
I'm sorry I stole your thunder, but we can repeat it. You can repeat it.
First, I'd like to introduce our current president, Allie Van Cleef, and my co-chairman, Marion Nation. As the mayor said, we've worked on this for a few years, and we finally got it in the ground last year. And I was going to end with this, but I'll start with it. When the weather permits, please stop by and visit our memorial, which is facing Beekman Lane. It's about 50 feet from Veterans Way. We did install several benches that you can sit and ponder, or if you're like me, you get tired and you want to rest a little. But I will read this now just so that you can, if you don't know, or if you are aware, it'll refresh your memory. Blue Star Memorial Marker program honors men and women who have served and are serving in our armed forces. It began here in New Jersey in 1944 as World War II was entering its final phase. The project was started by the president of the Garden Club of New Jersey, Mrs. Lewis Hull, her roadside council chair, and the New Jersey Commission of Transportation. They envisioned a project that would be living and visible memorial to returning veterans. They proposed a planting of 8,000 native dogwoods along a landscaped area of what is now Route 22 between Mountainside and North Plainfield, New Jersey. The project began in June of 1944 with service clubs and organizations, individual citizens, and the GCNJ all contributing trees that were planted. That first site was named the Blue Star Drive to coordinate with the service flag that families hang in windows for each family member on active duty. The banner features a blue star on a white background framed in red. In January of 1945, the New Jersey State Legislature commemorated the Blue Star Drive by a joint resolution, and in 1948, a 7-member commission formed to oversee future Blue Star Memorial projects. That committee still functions today, composed of representatives from the New Jersey Department of Transportation, the Garden Club of New Jersey, and representatives of military and veterans organizations. That first Blue Star marker, still on Route 22 in New Jersey, was refurbished and rededicated in 2014 by the Garden Club of New Jersey. Today, there are close to 3,000 Blue Star memorials throughout the United States and nearly 40 in New Jersey. They may be found on highways, veterans facilities, veterans cemeteries, and public parks and squares in every state. What a better way to pay public tribute to all who serve and have served our nation. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Barbara, and thank you, ladies, for a job well done. And please, when weather's permitting, please visit and reflect at that beautiful site. I'd like a quick point of order. We had a guest just arrived that I always like to recognize. Miss Joan Biondi just arrived and blessed us with her presence. She doesn't live in town anymore, but she's still part of us, and we appreciate when you show up. It is raining. Veteran spouses, honored guests, and township residents and employees, thank you, everyone, for joining us today. It is truly my honor to stand before you as a Hillsborough Township Mayor on such a significant day of commemoration. A day where we in Hillsborough Township pause and honor our service members and remember the sacrifices they have made for our freedom, particularly those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. There's no other day throughout the year of more significance. Thank you to our veterans for your service, and thank you to their spouses and families for their support given to our veterans. They're often the forgotten people, the people at home that worry and sit up tonight and wait for you to come back. I believe that we, as proud Americans, can never do enough to recognize and honor our veterans, past, present, and those military personnel currently serving. Thank you for answering the call of duty. Your leadership and selfish dedication have made our armed forces the most respected in the world. Hillsborough veterans, thank you once again for being here with us. And more importantly, thank you from all of us for your service. And I'm, like my countryman Doug Thompson, love this town, and I started reflecting. So as I reflect on Memorial Day, particularly in light of Hillsborough's 250th anniversary, I cannot help but think about our early veterans. Those who fought in fields not far from here, where we stand today, during the Revolutionary War, which later led to our independence, creating our nation for which freedoms continue to be protected by our servicemen and women here today. In the midst of the revolution that led to the Revolutionary War, Hillsborough Township was created by the Royal Charter on May 31st, 1771. It was during that time that our forefathers of Hillsborough took to the battlefields as well. We honor them today as we continue our long celebration of the 250th anniversary of our township. Veterans past, present, and those men and women currently serving are owed our gratitude. It's not for the faint of heart to join the military, writing a blank check to the United States of America payable up to and including possibly one's life. Leaving family and friends, traveling to foreign lands, and not being certain that you will return safely home. Please keep our service personnel in your thoughts and prayers for their safe return home. Memorial Day is a national holiday in which we honor our war dead. Although often touted as an unofficial start of summer, it is more significant and somber occasion. One to be commemorated, not celebrated. It is those for whom we mourn that we remember this weekend. Those patriots who fought valiantly and selfishly for our freedom, so that we could have the right to assemble here today and every day. Freedom is not free, but the result of endless sacrifice. Across America in the coming days, flags will be placed on graves and cemeteries. Marching bands will lead parades, they're not here today. And public officials will speak on the sacrifice and the valor of those servicemen and women whose memory we honor and we gather in solemn remembrance. We pass on these traditions to future generations so they understand, respect, and honor. Earlier, many young children lined our parade route, which we didn't have, cheering for our veterans, leading our parade. That parade will happen, by the way. It's just not going to be today. I promise you that. This is an important aspect of the day, so that future generations will stand with open arms and welcome home our heroes and remember those who perished and will not return home. I'm going to go off script a little bit about a personal and my relationship with veterans. My brother Todd was in the Navy in the late 80s. He called me one day and said he was being deployed as a CB on a destroyer out to some country out in the far Middle East for Desert Shield as part of the blockade. I wished him well and went a safe return home. A few weeks later, I got a letter in the mail. I opened the letter and it said just this: Sean, just in case. And it was a letter addressed to my parents. Fortunately, I never had to open that letter or deliver that letter. But it was a solemn slap to the face of what you all did and do and still do. Willing to just leave, write your letters, and hope to come back. That from that day forward, I was a veteran supporter and will always be a veteran supporter. And I salute you all. Sorry, Pam. On Monday, we ask everyone to observe a moment of silence at 3 p.m. as a remembrance of our fallen heroes. It is to those souls that we honor this weekend, and those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice on the altar of freedom. It is they who we are grateful for today and every day. Our nation, the United States of America, the greatest nation to ever grace this earth, is a beacon of enduring freedom because of them. We thank you from the bottom of all our hearts, for those past and present. I respect you all. I will give you an applause. At this time, it is my honor and privilege to introduce the 2021 Hillsborough Township Grand Marshal, Tom Salilli, Jr. Veteran Salilli was born in Ludlow, Massachusetts, and has been a 40-year Hillsborough resident with his wife of 53 years, Philomena. They have 2 sons, 4 grandsons, 2 granddaughters, and a great-granddaughter. Veteran Salilli enlisted in the Army during the Vietnam conflict and completed basic training at Fort Gordon in Augusta, Georgia. Veteran Salilli attained the rank of E5 and was awarded the Army Commendation Medal of Meritorious Service overseas while managing the Classified Message Center and the highly classified Operation Command Post in the sky. Veteran Salilli is a lifetime member of the VFW Post 8371 and serves as a trustee and post adjunct and currently holds the position of post commander since 2018. Veteran Salilli also holds posts, volunteers, or is involved with the VFW District 15 Senior Command Staff of Somerville, New Jersey, Disabled Veterans Vets Chapter 16, as well as committees in Hillsborough Township, Mary Mother of God, RC Church, and Unico Service Organization membership. Once again, thank you to all our veterans, honored guests, and members of the Township Committee, and all those who participated in the coming parade and Garden of Honor, and all those, and of course, all those who work so diligently behind the scenes. And I'd like to thank Pete from Catered Affair in the back for providing the breakfast. Navy vet, he always likes to hide out, but I'm not letting you, Pete. I thank our residents, family and friends, and members of our community for being here today and joining our Memorial Day commemoration. Thank you all, and may God bless the United States of America. Veteran Salilli will share your thoughts with you in a moment. At this time, I'd like to present Veteran Salilli with a congressional flag and a commemorative plaque in honor of your service to our nation and serving as Grand Marshal. Would Mr. Malinowski please come up and help me present the flag?
Thank you so much for everything you've done and continue to do for us. Thank you. Here you go. This flew over the Capitol, as you know. Yes. In your honor. I'm honored.
Is that good?
A little bit. Hey, we're sure. If one was yours, it didn't handle. Thank you.
So at this time, I will present the microphone to our Grand Marshal, Tom Salilli, Jr.
Mayor Lapani, Hillsborough Township committeemen and committeewomen, invited guests on the dais, and most importantly, my fellow veterans who I represent today, and all other citizens attending this commemoration ceremony. Welcome, and thank you for the opportunity to speak with you this morning. In quiet services across the country this weekend, we come together as a nation to remember those lost in the clash of battle, the thunder of bombs, the roar of tanks, the rumbling of airplanes flying overhead, and the scream of artillery shells. This Memorial Day, we come together to honor the many sacrifices made for our freedom. As we enjoy living in the land of the free and the home of the brave, we must continue to remind Americans there is no freedom without bravery. And those we honor today were brave when it counted the most. Amid the war-torn decades we've endured, we take great pride in these heroes, these men and women who believed they were just doing their duty. They had strength when the situation demanded it, determination when everything felt lost, and devotion, courage, and patriotism when others looked to them for guidance. No one ordered them to practice the most basic of human ideals. They did it because they were Americans and lived in a nation worth defending. Generation after generation has been fortunate enough to reap the benefits paid for by those who believe that freedom is worth fighting for and, if necessary, dying for. In cemeteries across America and around the world this weekend, people will pause to spread flowers on the graves of those lost in war. But today should not be about the sorrow we feel at their loss, and not about mourning. What it should be about was best expressed by General George S. Patton back in 1944 at a military cemetery in France. Looking out across a field filled with rows of white crosses, marking the graves of men who, just days before, had been part of his army, Patton said, "We should thank God that such men lived." We should thank God that such men lived. And that is what this very special day is all about. Being thankful that such brave men and women have lived. And to pay tribute to those heroic patriots who bravely rose up and fought for something greater than themselves. Protecting a home to which they never returned. They sacrifice everything for the noblest of causes, and it is up to you and me to carry their memory forward in an effort to repay a debt that can never truly be repaid. Flowers, memorials, and flags at half-staff, and the sad note of taps, as meaningful as they are not enough. What we really must do to honor their sacrifice is to live what they died for. Live the America they died for, a country of freedom, equality, opportunity, and unlimited promise. Live filled with hope. Hope that what they gave us will last forever, and that freedom and opportunity will find all who seek it. Live to preserve their legacy, educating all who believe Memorial Day is just another holiday, and passing along our knowledge to the next generation so they may do the same. We must ensure that the youth of tomorrow understand the true cost of freedom. Today we do more than just carry on a tradition dating back to 1866, when the first formal Memorial Day observances were conducted. We go beyond tradition, beyond remembering, and beyond mourning. Today, we work together to make this the country they died for, building a better nation each and every day. They gave up their todays for our tomorrows, and now we must carry their message of dedication and determination to the generation in uniform today. and to the generations who will serve tomorrow, because there is no greater way to honor the memory of those who have secured it. This Memorial Day, we remember those who courageously gave their lives. To those who have fought and those who are fighting, we admire your courage and appreciate your sacrifices. And to my fellow veterans, we salute you, we honor you, and thank you for your service to our country. While there are cemeteries all over the world that are a visible reminder, we must also remember the ones whose resting place has never been found, those committed to the depths of the sea, and those still missing in action. Their place of remembrance may be found at the tomb of the unknown soldier, now in its 101st year in Arlington, Virginia. General Douglas MacArthur once said, "Old soldiers never die, they just fade away." It is our wish that the nation never lets these men and women fade away, but honors their service and sacrifice. May God watch over these heroes, and may God bless you, your families, and the United States of America. Thank you.
It was probably the most long-awaited speech we've ever had here. Thank you, sir, for your service and that great speech. We will have some pictures later. Please have a seat.
Well done.
Again, thank you, Tom. At this time, we will conduct a wreath-laying ceremony honoring those who have fallen in battle. These wreaths are in display in the hallway, and we place at the Garden of Honor, obviously when the weather is better, but I just want to read off those who presented wreaths this year in no special order, but the Hillsborough Township Committee, the Hillsborough Police Department, FLAGTOWN Fire Company number 36, Route 206 Fire Company number 37, Woods Road Fire Company number 38, NESHANIC Fire Company number 48, Hillsborough Veterans Committee, Hillsborough Republicans, Hillsborough Democrats, Hillsborough Seniors Chapter A, Hillsborough Seniors Chapter B, and the Hillsborough Board of Education Association and Principal Supervisor Association. So hand of applause. So on your way out, the wreaths are right out by the door here. Please view them, and you can take a moment to reflect since we can't be outside. At this time, Hillsborough High School chorale member Sabrina Schubert will perform Amazing Grace. Would you like a microphone?
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now
Wow, thank you, Sabrina. And thank you to all the members of Chorale, again, for a great job under not the normal circumstances. Thank you again. And now Hillsborough High School band member Eric Duma will come forward and perform taps. Thank you, Eric. Share all your stories with the younger generation. They need to hear it. They need to understand why this is an important day. Knowledge is part of the process, and you're the book holders. Pass it on. I would also like to just, for one moment, Deputy Mayor Mr. Frank Delcor is not here today, obviously. He had a prior commitment, which is the only one we'd allow him to miss. His daughter's graduating from college today. So he figured he paid for it, he should be there. So he extends his sincere condolences. He could not attend, but you were in his thoughts and appreciation for all you do. So he just wanted me to make sure I mention that for you. So this concludes our official program this morning. I'd like to again thank all the volunteers, the Girl Scouts in the back, our Parks and Rec staff who set this up, our committee who put this all together. You know, we kept planning and changing. This thing probably changed 17 times in the last 3 weeks as the guidelines kept changing and the weather forecast, but I was steadfast and the committee was steadfast behind me. You get the day, no matter what, and you got it. So this concludes our program, so there's no parade to rush off to. So please, if you'd like to stay and talk to your fellow veterans for a while, please do.